bring to the table. There's just a lot of opportunities here if you're up for the challenge.
Jump on board, be part of the fun ride, because we're going places.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Thanks to you. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
evening, everyone, and welcome to Horizon Christian as we begin our first game of many this year in high school volleyball in IndianaSRN. Tonight, Horizon Christian coming in at 1-0 following their win over Kings Academy, and they're hosting Columbus Christian. They too are 1-0 after their opening season win over Suburban Christian. Troy Dergowski, Keith Myers with you, not only tonight, but back tomorrow night, as these volleyball teams are going to play a lot of games here in the next few weeks before they start conference play. But as I mentioned, Coach, the Lions and Crusaders off to a good start.
This is a 20-year rivalry, so it's rivalry week already on IndianaSRN. These teams know each other very well. They dislike each other. They're like the Hatfield and McCoys, and it's been going on for 20 years. And, this is one of the games where you walked in both schools today, and they said, okay, what are we doing tonight? Well, we're going to go see Horizon play Columbus. And Columbus folks goes, well, we'll drive up to Horizon. And that's how this rivalry has started. Both teams starting at 1-0. Conference play starts in about 2 weeks, because tomorrow we're back here at Horizon against Shortridge to wrap up their regular season, I guess, warm-ups to get going. Both teams have played a couple of tournament games. You don't count tournament games for your conference record or so but this is an important game, Troy, because both of these teams play in the Indiana Christian State Tournament that we have done over the years, and seeding is very important. Head-to-head, Columbus would love to knock off Horizon at Horizon tonight.
Especially after they were beaten last year 3-0. And so there's no doubt about it that Columbus would love to get a chance to win this one here tonight. Now, we're going to break down both these teams here in a couple of moments, but you got to remember, too, they've already had a week in. Now, it's hard to believe we're only, August the 19th, but they've already had a week of volleyball. And so we'll have our poll out, our preseason poll here in a few minutes, and you can kind of see after the first weekend of games, there's a lot of teams out there that have kind of established themselves already.
And you look at that and you go, wow, look how these teams, I mean, you look at in the IHSAA poll, you look at Hamilton Southeastern, Roncalli went from 4A to 3A, going to be a pretty power. 2A, you have Browntown Central, and in 1A, you have Southwood, who won the state championship last year. All of a sudden, you're right. I mean, they hit the ground running. As we talked about it in our volleyball pregame at Aspen Creek Grill just 2-3 weeks ago, Gene Kesselgen says this is wide open. The state of Indiana is wide open this year.
You mentioned Hamilton Southeastern, Center Grove, Homestead, McCutcheon, and Castle. All 5 are pretty familiar names in 4A, but when we talked about, you mentioned Roncalli, they were realigned to 3A. They probably felt pretty good at being in a higher class, but now in 3A, they've got to be the team to beat.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And if not, then something's got to be wrong in the state of Indiana. And the cool thing is, Troy, during our coverage this year, we're going to see some of those teams. And fortunately for you, you're not going to be with me all those times. We just started with a new person that's going to be doing our color, has done fantastic work coaching back in the day, was a very good volleyball player because I hated to play against her. And Hannah Corey joins us in a couple of weeks. And, folks, it will be a treat to have her a part of IndianaSRN because I cannot wait to the semi-state because we get to share. She gets one, I get one. That's kind of nice.
There you go.
But Hannah will be with us.
Well, let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about Columbus Christian, what to look for when they step on the floor here tonight. We'll do that. We'll also talk about Horizon Christian. Again, both teams at 1-0. This is high school volleyball right here on IndianaSRN.
To you. faithfully standing with us. You are truly making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in need.
Back here at Horizon Christian, the Crusaders of Columbus Christian and the Lions of Horizon Christian here on IndianaSRN. Coach, let's focus on this Columbus Christian team. They beat Suburban Christian 3-1 in their first game of the year. It was very close other than the one set they lost, and they lost that one 25-15. Other than that, it was 25-23, 25-21, 25-22. So if you look at the scores, Columbus Christian really got a pretty good feeling of how they are coming after that first matchup against Suburban Christian.
And, you know, the first game of the year, everybody's dirty, everybody's nervous, everybody new situations, and all of a sudden you look at that and go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
We're up against, and, you know, you look at this Christian league with Suburban and all the other teams that surround this state championships. They're pretty well balanced. They're almost like a 1A level in the IHSAA.
Yeah.
Maybe a step down from that, but very competitive. All those teams are very competitive.
We don't know a whole lot about Columbus Christian just from the standpoint of statistics because they didn't post anything that we could see. But again, you won that first matchup. They're not very deep in their roster. They only play like 10 or 11 kids, but watching them a little bit in warm-ups, don't have a ton of size, so they're going to have to really do a very good job in rotation. They're going to have to do a very good job playing the net because they don't have that kind of size.
Right, they have no height, so they're not going to block shots. So you got to be very careful with being at the clock, being at the net. So
yeah, we'll see how they do there because again, we said a little bit ago they don't have a ton of size to work with. But they're going to have to do a very good job of receiving, returning, and certainly having to play the all-around game. They're going to have to after they lost last year by a final 3-0. So how they play early. But again, you go back to that last one against Suburban Christian. They squeak out the first win 25-23, and then they had that big back in the next two. The one thing about high school volleyball in the state of Indiana, whether you're at the IHSAA or you're part of this league as Horizon and Columbus are, Coach, is that you're gonna play a lot of games in a very short amount of time. So practice time really becomes very valuable because you don't get that much practice time.
No, absolutely not. Because once the season starts, all of a sudden you realize that you're playing maybe 2 to 3 games each week, and the season is very short. You only have maybe 9 weeks, and now all of a sudden you're thrown into a tournament, and you go, wow, we played 27 games in 3 weeks. So that's a lot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Plus, you need to find some other players that may step up for you that you're going to need sometime down the road. Well, this is a 20-year rivalry between these two teams, Columbus and Horizon. Let's talk a little bit about this Horizon team. As we mentioned, they beat Kings Academy in their first matchup. Last year, they were 14-6, had a very successful year. They've got some key players back that we're really going to keep an eye on here tonight. We'll mention those names as we go. So they've kind of established themselves as a very solid volleyball program.
Yeah, you look at for the third year for this coaching staff. So the first year they have to establish their way of coaching. And the second year, all of a sudden now you are demanding a little bit. In this third year, you see what happens. 14-6, very tough schedule they played. And they were I think they were 2-5 the first time we saw them. So they only lost 1 game since that time. They won their back-to-back regional championships. That's a good thing. And they finished third in the state of in the Christian state tournament. So they have been established. Now all of a sudden you have to see what you're going to do year 3, because now all of a sudden the juniors are the sophomores now are juniors or seniors. Now you're expecting to win.
One thing about it, too, is they're very good at home. And if you've ever been in this gym, it's very enclosed.
Yes,
There's
it
not
is.
a lot of room to work, and that can play to your advantage.
Very loud in this gym. When it gets very loud, it gets very noisy. First game of the year, you would think that it could be that way. I think the key is how your players develop and how you set the tone to this game. That's important.
Well, let's talk about a couple of key players. Ella Selke is going to be one. She wears number 3. You can talk about her a little bit. Victoria Williams wearing number 5. And then Cambria Hathaway, number 32. Those are really the big 3
I will tell you, Camera Hathaway is left-handed. I love left-handed players, and I love left-handed players. I always put her on the right side.
Yeah.
And people go, why do you do that? Because she can dominate. People have no idea. Selke, I think Ella is a very good player. I think Ella could play to the next level, maybe Division III, maybe some Division II. But Williams, if she connects with the ball, Troy, we saw her smack the ball very hard. Speed. She's not very small, but man, she follow through. She plays the net very, very well. Advantage, I think, that Horizon have over Columbus tonight is probably the net and the height over the net.
Service errors have been big when we've been doing volleyball, and when you see teams not serving well, they have a tendency not to play well. I don't know what the numbers are coming into this one, but I think it's pretty safe to say that's going to be key tonight.
Well, we had Horizon for 2 games last year. One of those air games were almost 45.
Yeah.
And it just got monotonous because they just was not ready and tuned to play that level of volleyball. They can't afford 20 or 25 errors tonight. They have to play, because right now, if you look at the experience and all those things, Horizon should win this game 3-0 very quickly.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry. You got to throw that out the window.
Well, we talk about service errors, but the other side is the receiving errors. You can't make a lot of mistakes receiving, because bottom line is you want to set yourself up to go on offense on the attack, and if you don't, you're giving the other team more opportunity.
And that's all coaching, because you've already said, I used to, with my assistant, we already had a 4 or 5 point, what we're going to do, point 1, point 2, point 3, to set the tone of what we're going to do. Are we going to put our best server in first? Or are we going to let her go second? We're going to put her third? Are we going to hide her? How are we going to do that? Because you want to determine late in the game, you want the person who is hot handling the ball, because she can finish out games. Game goes to 25. It's very quick.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, 25, that takes forever. It goes very quickly when you're on the floor.
All right, let me ask you, we got about a minute before we go to the starting lineups and our national anthem. As a head coach, how much pressure you put on a team this early? This is only match number 2. You haven't had well, they played all summer, we know that, but you haven't had a lot of time to get some cohesiveness together and really find the way that you want to play this game.
I don't put pressure, but I tell the seniors, this is what I'm expecting from you. I want you to do this on the floor tonight. Okay. And then you talk to your juniors and say, follow the lead of the seniors. If you're a young sophomore, pay attention what is happening. And if you're a freshman, you got eyes, you're as big as a headlight looking at you going, why am I playing this? Even in this league, it's intimidating, because last year the freshmen was superstars on their 7th and 8th grade team. It's much that ball comes to you the first time, you go, oh.
Look out.
Yeah.
It happens pretty quick when the lights are on, as they say on a Friday night when it's game night, or as tonight being a Monday. When we come back, we will get things started. It's Horizon Christian at 1-0 and the Crusaders of Columbus Christian. That matchup is coming up in just a few moments right here on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Back here at Horizon Christian, Troy Daragowski along with Coach Keith Myers. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer since 1955. Passion to care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Bertner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group. We're in business to create a better future for you and your family. Northwestern Mutual, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Laborers District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women of Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports daily coverage with updated sports news coast to coast. Go to IndianaSRN.org and click on the sports page tab. All right, let's talk about keys to this one. We've really set the table for both teams, Keith. Let's start with Columbus Christian. Off to a nice win. Again, they got swept last year 3-0. They're at Horizon, so really the cards are stacked against them tonight.
Yeah, you look 3-0 last year. You look at the rivalry. You look at who's home. All those things. I coached 8 of these games.
Okay.
These are crucial games of pride.
Did you win?
I was 7-1.
Okay.
So I know how to play. Now I lost to other people, but it's just a rival. People down in Columbus love to hate. People at Horizon love to hate. But it's Christian. At the end of the game, they'll hug each other, high five each other, and cheer each other on to beat everybody else in the conference.
Yeah.
So what has to happen to who gets off to a quick start first is going to win game 1. Game 2 then could be a grind. If it's over in 2, all of a sudden game 3, do you have pride enough to force it? If this thing gets to 5 games, Columbus wins this thing.
Okay.
Because the confidence level for Horizon will just fall away.
Yeah.
It's just nature of the beast.
Well, Horizon, again, they're very good at home, and you know that as well as anybody. But, again, they've got to find a way to keep that momentum going tonight. Really, what's the key for them? They've got probably a little more experience than what we'll see in Columbus.
Just play.
Okay.
I mean, you're home, you're playing. If you're one of the things what you do at Columbus, get the loud people over that far bleacher. Get those people out of the game, and you're going to be okay. Because you brought people too.
Yeah.
And by the way, while we're doing this real quick, hello to Kevin Roth, the AD at Columbus Christian. I talked to him Sunday. You sound good, Kevin. Hope that you're having a good year because I'm sure these two teams will see each other again in the regional semifinals.
By the way, today's broadcast is a copyright production of IndianaSRN and the Indiana Christian Athletic Association. Any use of audio or video without the express written permission of IndianaSRN and the Indiana Christian Association is strictly prohibited. In the front court, you see Columbus Christian. They are in the blue and red, and on the far court, that will be Horizon Christian. We're ready for set one. JV contest was very close. You saw both those teams battling it out moments ago, so we really expect nothing different here in the varsity matchup as well.
If you're new to the game, you say, hey, why does that girl have a red shirt on, and why does that girl have a white shirt on? It's called a libero. They are key. They are great passers. They control the ball well. I fell in love with my libero until she didn't do very well. Here we go.
All right, side out for Columbus Christian. We are underway, and there is an ace to lead things off here for Columbus Christian. Crowd will start to fill in a little bit as we go here this evening, but a good start already for Columbus Christian. Good rotation and a play at the net. We talked about that could be a key early. Bella Fredrickson, number 13, there for Columbus Christian, but that ball out of bounds, and we're tied at one apiece.
And Victoria Williams immediately has made herself known.
Well, here is Ella Selke, who will serve for the first time here tonight for the Lions. They had gone last year, if you remember, that'll be an ace. You remember last year, Coach, where we had an instance where Horizon Christian would run off 7, 8, 9 in a row and put the thing out of reach.
We've also had where they went 8 or 9 in a row and then gave up 8 or 9 points as well.
Exactly, yes.
Selke's got a nice serve, got it almost like a screwball with her serve.
Had an ace moments ago, and the return, and a short return, unable to catch up with that one. And a point goes to Horizon Christian. So the Lions, 3 unanswered, lead it now 3-1. Side out once again.
Good job by Anna Bowman on that retrieve.
Another good serve. This time they picked on that upper right corner, and that'll be another ace. 2 in a row now for Selke.
And that's what your assistant will sit on the bench and go, okay, consistently go 6, 4, 5. Move that ball around and see where that weakest player might be.
Selke once again picking on the middle this time. Columbus has to make the return, and it's going to be wide, and an error on the reception side of things and the return, and all of a sudden it's 4-1.
Quick start like Horizon needed.
Take that back 5-1 is your score. So Horizon, now the momentum going their way. Columbus needs a return, and they won't get one, short at the net. Therefore, Columbus was Bella Fredrickson. And now 6-1 your score. And at some point now, Coach, if you're Columbus, you're thinking, I got to get a timeout.
Yes, you do.
Selke again on the serve.
Nice.
Good rotation up front. Let's see how the Lions will play to the outside. Down the line, and a great save by Columbus, but it's a little bit too hard. Yeah, but it was last touch, though, by Horizon. The point will go to Columbus, and now 6-2 your score.
Good job of reversing the court, putting it on the opposite end. Got away from a mistake, but it still be able to score there.
So -4 here for Columbus Christian. That is the first service error they have had. But now a 5-point lead for the Lions, and they'll make a change in their lineup. Side out once again, Lions, and a short serve, and they return the favor. Each team now with 1 service error.
Got to get that ball up in the air. I teach our kids, tonight it's a balloon. Let the helium balloon go up and smack it down on the downward flight. Don't try to smack it when it's still on the upper motion.
By the way, Madison Murray has checked in for Columbus. -4 on the serve, and the return deep, and the point. Horizon, nice job there. Victoria Williams, who we talked about in the pregame.
And that time she lofted the ball. She didn't smack the ball off speed. As Hathaway now checks into the ball game, there's your height in the front row.
Yep. -5 now for Columbus. Side out for Horizon. They've had a difficult time getting this offense rolling. They'll make the return, so nothing there again for Columbus. To the outside, and the hit a little bit short into the net, and that will send things back over to Columbus. They're -4.
First game of the year on IndianaSRN. Many games on volleyball for you on the network.
Libra Alberto is in the lineup now for Columbus. To the outside left with the left hand. But, boy, that set is so important when you look at that for Horizon, as Cambria Hathaway was unable to make the return on that one with the left hand. So you really got to do a good job of getting a little more lift there at the net. So 8-5 your score.
It's always going to do that. Okay, that's part of the characteristic of that.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors throughout Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give them a call at 317-849-0810. Also by the Morales Group Staffing. We're in business to create a better future for you, for your family, and for the community we share. We can match you with the right career or hire the right candidate for your company. For more information, give them a call. 47600. Also want to thank Boilermaker Local 374, where they represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication here in the state of Indiana. When you need a safe, dependable workforce for a new build, an upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Boilermaker Local 374 to do your job right the first time. Also want to thank Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience as a prestigious healthcare company. Passion to Care is driven by decades of expertise and a drive to go above and beyond. For more information, give them a call at 317-537-1811. 8-5 your score here at Horizon Christian. Both teams again at 1-0 here in the first set of play. Each team had a couple of service errors early. But once Columbus Christian got off to a decent start, Horizon ran off 5 unanswered, and certainly a couple of bases by Ella Selke has made the difference here in this one so far. Both teams again at 1-0 after Columbus Christian opened up with that win over Suburban Christian. And then Horizon Christian, they beat Kings Academy in their first matchup as well. And by the way, Horizon will be back in action tomorrow here on IndianaSRN. They will take on Indianapolis Shortridge. Game time set once again for around 7:15 here again on IndianaSRN. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Passion to Care. They're delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. They're a prestigious healthcare company driven by decades of expertise and a drive to go above and beyond the call. For more information, give them a call at 317-537-1811. Also, you can make a difference and help us put more student athletes on TV by logging on to IndianaSRN.org and directing your donation to a specific school, or you can just hit the donate button. More games and more opportunity with our student athletes. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. Your score here in the opening set of play as Columbus falling down by as much as 9 now in this opening set. Lions back on the attack to the outside, just inside the line. Nice play there for the Lions. That was Ella Selke.
We talked about her in the pregame. She can play now. And guess what? She makes a great play. Guess what? She's serving the ball.
Yeah.
Tend to happen. 20-10.
So now that represents the biggest lead that Horizon has had in this opening set. And Selke has really done a nice job serving She had a couple of aces early, and this time just a hard one to handle.
Just looks like a knuckleball when it comes with a play. You think, oh, that's too easy.
Yeah.
No, they're not easy.
Not easy at all. Plus, if you play back on your heels and she sends it short, you got to find a way to adjust.
You bet.
Columbus.
Good call.
Well, one thing about Columbus so far, when they get the ball on offense, they're having to send it back because they haven't set much up yet. And certainly reasons like that where they just misplay the ball.
Yeah, and Victoria Williams has not went rogue yet. She hasn't hit the ball hard yet.
So now the lead at 12. Magic number down to 3. That wasn't a great serve, but somehow it made it over. And how about the return there by Victoria Williams?
Now you just have to push 2.
Williams is not really big, but she plays very well at the net.
She can sky.
Yeah, she can jump.
And there's no trampoline there.
Short serve, handled there
Nice
by
set.
Yana Foster. On the return by Nickerson, and Columbus will get the point.
Okay, and if you're in the back row there, what you need to pop that straight up. She's short arm that. You got to get that up in the air so that second hitter can get and set the ball.
Paige Harden, side out, minus 12 here in this opening set. Let's see how Horizon will come back. That's going to be Williams. Didn't need to jump that time. And it's going to be misplayed by Columbus. We have seen that a few times here tonight by Columbus. They've got to find a way to get that ball and put it in play.
And you are now on 1 point away from winning your first game of the match.
Into the lineup looks like that's Lizzie Clutter.
Senior. Has played 8 years for Horizon.
She's hoping to finish out with a
state championship. Exactly right. Good call, Coach.
Set point right here and misplayed at the net there by Foster. And how about Horizon Christian? They dominate the opening set. They win it 25-11. Back once again here at Horizon Christian.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Today's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. For more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have consistently been the trusted allies for your inventory management, warehousing, fulfillment, and transportation needs. We stand as your comprehensive logistics partner. If you'd like more information, give them a call at 317-396-1023. And also by Dynamark. Look for your brand to get elevated with this great company. Choose Dynamark for your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, and promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where your strong relationship can build exceptional service. For more information, give them a call, 317-328-2555.
Greg Cox.
All right, opening set, 14-point win in that one. They really took off once they gained control of the Horizon, just dominated.
And you get the ball to start, and guess who you get to throw back into the game?
Yeah.
The girl you just faced who ran off 7 points, you face her again.
Selke has been a Columbus Christian killer and comes up with another ace.
You know, we watch this so many times. You know, get an ace, and you get the dance, and you get the little shout, and you get the high five, you know, and they think guys are weird doing basketball stuff.
And everybody's got their own
little jig.
Yeah,
Yep.
everything's a little bit different. In the middle attack, nothing there. That one hit into the net, 2-0 early lead. Right now, if you're Columbus Christian, you got to find a way not to fall in a big hole right here.
You know, and Katie Bond, exactly for Columbus Christian, did exactly what she did, but the ball was under the net. You got to realize where that ball is, too. She can hit. There's the attack.
That's the first one they've had in a while, but Williams coming back with an attack of her own. Columbus returning it. Nice play there by Harden. Williams again. This is the first volley we've had in a while, but that one hit into the net again by Katie Bond, and the point will go to Horizon.
I tell you, Williams is just chomping at the bit to get the ball.
Williams has been solid here early. Selke has been solid as well. Trying to give now Horizon an early 4-0 lead, so Columbus on the return. Set to the outside left. And misplayed on the return there by Nickerson. And an early big lead already for Horizon.
Nice job by Layla over there on number 2. Abud.
You see the head coach right there for Columbus Christian trying to find an answer to stop Ella Selke early with a 4-0 lead here in the second set. Well, that'll help.
The smart thing she did is she did not call timeout. She saved that timeout because, you know, it's still early. 4-1 right now. It's early.
And you hope that your players will learn how to play through some of those because you can't take a timeout all the time.
Nice serve.
So that'll be an ace the other way there for Columbus Christian. They've cut that deficit down to 2. And that's going to be long service error number 3 now on Columbus Christian. There's not a lot of room. If you're a run jumper server, you're not going to have a whole lot of room to do that in this gym.
The wall is not your friend.
It is not. And I don't think they'll let you open up the doors, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
+3 here for Horizon on the return, and that's just inside the line. Nice play there by Mara Nickerson.
Now, back in the day when Coach Myers was at Horizon, we opened up the doors wide, and we just told the official that's the extension. But
and they believed you.
Well, early.
Yeah, they knew something was wrong somewhere. Serving is Harden, and that'll be a service error. That's number 4 now unofficially on Columbus Christian.
They must have had Wheaties for lunch today down in Columbus Christian.
If you're not used to serving, though, and serving effectively,
it's
not easy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure a lot of times that psychologically that goes through your mind if you're not good at it, and there's a lot of players. If you're in the 90-plus percentile, you're pretty good. You start dropping under 90, then you start to see a little bit of a pattern. Horizon
There's a good
back
set.
on the return. Inside the attack line, they return again for Columbus. To the outside, and another miss hit by Horizon, and the lead down to 2 now, 6-4.
And, you know, you look at Columbus, they're away from home. Horizon's used to playing in this gym, so that's why your, home court advantage is crucial in this conference games.
That's going to be wide on the serve. That is now 3 service errors in this set alone for Columbus. Coming out of the lineup will be Katie Bond. Side out now for the Lions. See your scoreboard up there in the right-hand corner. There's an ace. First set dominated by 14. Layla Alberto. Now for Horizon. Also, I don't like it when the gym gets really quiet, Coach. I'd rather have them make noise.
Yeah. Do you see where the ball is? She elevates that ball as we got a timeout.
We'll take a timeout as well here on IndianaSRN.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here. here, especially since it is a made-from-scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family. Come have some great food. Have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Back once again here at Horizon following the timeout. A 4-point lead for the Lions. The near overpass played at the net and returned there by Columbus and Abby Dora. But how about that play? Once again, Horizon coming up big. If Columbus can't find a way to get this offense rolling here and not give it back to the Lions, this could be a really quick night.
Yeah, and you see the senior, cluttered doing what she does best.
How about another ace? Nice effort by Emma Rice of Columbus Christian, unable to get it. A ball that kind of dove that time.
You get to 14-4, you call another timeout.
I think so, yep. Yeah, you're in some dangerous territory if you don't get something going offensively here for Columbus, and another receiving error by Columbus, and all of a sudden what was a 6-4 lead has gone to 12-4. See how quickly momentum changes in this game?
Especially in this game, yes, sir.
Another excellent serve, misplayed there by Foster. And right now, Columbus has no answers.
And you see the bench over there doing the little spin and
I
twist.
see you do that too when there's an
I get
ace.
dizzy. I fall down.
We'll help you back up. How about that one? A net clipper goes in for another ace.
Now, I can remember back in the day when that was against the rule, you could not do that.
That's right.
Am I aging myself a little bit? Okay.
Yes. It's been a long time ago.
Well, we used to play 8-minute clock, too.
That's right. And they also used to switch sides.
Yes.
And that's only in the last few years. And that's going to be wide on the attack. And here we go again. Horizon continues to roll here in the second set. Now an 11-point lead.
And you can tell this young club for Columbus is trying to fill their oats a little bit.
Yeah, they're really just struggling getting on offense and making a return, as you see Paige Harden. And that comes down to balance. She's playing back, needed to maybe take a step up.
Right. But if you take that step back, a very good player will understand that and then will shoot back to you. That's out. Whoa, stayed in.
Can Columbus make a return? They make a return, but again, no offense this time. Little tap at the net, kept alive there by Columbus. Good job by Foster. To the outside left, down the line, and the return to the net. Excellent play once again by Hathaway. Hathaway tried to dump that one. She saw an opening up on the left side, just left it short.
That ball is dancing on the net like that. Most of the time, that will come back on your side, and that's exactly what you got to hit. You got to go attack the ball.
Yeah. I think she maybe thought that ball was going to hang a little further on the net, but it didn't.
Tell you how tight that net was today?
Yeah. Well, knowing you, when you coach, you probably made it really tight.
That net was pretty tight, yes. Especially when we played like Fortune Academy and Hannah Corey, because we sure did want her to get a break, that's for sure. I'm glad she's on my payroll now.
I was going to say, well, we'll grill her about those days.
She'll be with us tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should be interesting.
17-5 your score. Side out once again for the Lions. Dominating here in the second set, and that's going to be a service error on Horizon. That is their fourth unofficially. 5 tonight for Columbus Christian. So down by 11. Lions attack in the middle, but the set was a little bit short. Hathaway had to make a quick change. Battle at the net, and the joust will be won this time by Horizon. Now, is she my analyst tomorrow night, or is she just along for the ride?
She's along with, I'm sure she's going to get some airtime.
Okay. I just don't know how to play it when, if you're here, she's here. I want to give you both equal time. 12-point lead. There's another joust at the net. And how about Horizon keeps it alive?
Oh, yeah.
And then set it up in the middle. And Madison Murray delivered.
Madison realized they overpassed, and she's right there knocking on the door saying, nah, not today. And then look at the celebration. Love it when kids do things right.
And then Murray gets a chance to serve. And that's a service error. Number 6 now for Columbus.
Now you're up 19-7 here. You want to finish this out. You want to push this through to finish this out.
And if I'm on the other side, Columbus, I need a run here. I need about 5-6 points. Give myself a little bit of momentum. They haven't been able to get maybe more than 1 or 2 at a time.
You're right.
See what Columbus can do here. And they're behind the attack line. You're not going to get much there. The return there by Foster. Play at the net, and then the point for the Lions again.
Good communication there by the Lions.
Coach, you know, is when you get to that attack line, unless you can really get some momentum and hit it and get a good swing on it, that's awful hard to score from there.
Yes.
So somehow, and there's another one, but it's wide, they're going to have to get something more at the net.
Now you have to push 4 here.
By the way, our 2 officials here tonight, veteran officials. Somebody told me earlier I should be a volleyball official.
I don't think so, Troy. I've seen you referee basketball.
Well, I like the volleyball action a little bit better, as that's going to be long on the attack because I don't run as much. See, we got another timeout right now. Horizon leads it 22-7.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We talk about our officials. Our one of our sponsors is Officially Human. Our mission is to restore and respect the game officials that recognize them and the authority on the fields and on the court. Do not, we ask you that you would practice good sportsmanship. If you have nothing to say nothing at all. Thanks to our officials for tonight's game.
Or if you have nothing good to say
nothing at all.
Say nothing at all, yes.
Did that make sense?
It did.
Okay, good.
In other words, cheer, don't.
Yeah.
Could be a bad person out there. Good return here, both teams. Cross-court attack. Played well there by Horizon. Down the line, did it go out or did it stay in?
One says out, one says in, it's out.
Well, this side official right here in front of us said out, and that's really not her call. It would be if it went long.
Yes.
But they're going to reverse it.
Yeah, they are going to reverse it.
Because I think that's going to be your line judge down that line or the head judge, right?
Yeah, the referee can overrule either line.
Okay.
Yes.
24-10 your score. We're still at set point. Horizon trying to go up 2-0. And that would be a huge deficit for Columbus Christian to come back in this one. Deep serve and the return. Columbus sets it up behind the attack line, and once again they give up the possession. Back to the middle. There's Williams. Boy, she is so good in the middle. Nice return, and let's see if they'll go back to Williams again. Pushed it deep middle.
She really wants to get that back line.
Emma Rice back there playing it well for Columbus. Nice volley on this one. That might have been out.
Nice job by Boyd Vaughn.
Boy, the missed play on the push attempt by Paige Harden, and she knew she missed it. And that will do it for the second set. Another dominating performance by Horizon. They lead it 2-0.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back once again here at Horizon Christian. Tonight's volleyball matchup is brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer since 1955. Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication here in the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission, for over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Bertner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group, we're in business to create a better future for you and your family. Northwestern Mutual, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Laborers District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And by the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page daily with updated sports news coast to coast. Go to IndianaSRN and click on the sports page tab.
Make a difference. Help be part of the student athlete, putting them on TV by logging on to IndianaSRN, directing yourself to the donation button, specifies that says donate button. More games, more opportunities for kids. IndianaSRN would love to have you have a front row seat and help sponsor our broadcast.
And the more we can get on the air and chance to promote our student athletes, the better. All right, Coach, you're down 2-0. If you're Columbus Christian, you're staying in early, but early doesn't get the job done. You've got to be consistent throughout the entire set.
You have to run off 5 straight points here. I really think you have to have some confidence with your team. One of the things that we always told our kids, if we were down 2-0, look, it's not over. We just got to win this one and then the next one and see what happens. That's not a good start, though, for Columbus Christian.
Yeah, 7 service errors in a game where really you just can't make that many errors against a team like Horizon Christian. So side out once again for the Lions. It looks like Selke once again. And that's going to be a service error the other way.
She might be getting tired.
Yeah, she wore out her arm in the last 2 sets.
Volleyball action tomorrow night. Right back here at Horizon as they take on Shortridge.
Shortridge.
The Blue Devils.
So So side out, tied at 1. Let's see if now Columbus can get something going. Very good serve, and an overpass cost him at the net, and the point will go to Columbus. Great play there by Bella Fredrickson.
She's played pretty well.
She has.
You know, consistently. And this is the first time I think Columbus has been up in this game.
So they lead it 2-1 to the outside. The double block, but it's blocked out of bounds. Point will go to the Lions. Anna Bowman now for Horizon will have the serve, tied at 2 apiece. What Horizon has done, though, in the first 2 sets, coaches, they have been able to run off 10, 11, 12 points at a time. And then by the time they get up that far, Columbus just can't make the mistakes they were making if they're going to stay in this contest. Nice block at the net. We talked about Victoria Williams. This time gets the block for the point.
Yeah, and, you know, Horizon had a late substitution, and with the new rule, it says if you're not up in that line and that whistle's blown, there's grace that happened there, because that's usually not going to happen. You're going to have to play the 6 that you had on the floor. So Horizon's and the coaching staff has to know that rule, because they're going to play some IHSAA school. That's not going to happen, maybe in this league, but that won't happen on regular season.
That is the 6th service error now on Horizon. So Columbus hanging tough here in the 3rd set. Hit deep, and Horizon, will they keep it alive? That's Williams again from the middle attack. And then Columbus can't make the return, and that's been kind of an Achilles heel for them tonight, as they get 2 hits and then they just somehow can't get the return.
And you see the lunge that Horizon's making. You got to get to that spot, set your feet, get to the platform and hit it. You can't lunge at it all the time, or that's not going to be successful.
Here's Victoria Williams.
Wow, what a serve.
Williams has played well at the net, and you just saw the serve right there. The middle and the left hand, good. There's number 32, Hathaway.
The left-hander. Got to like her.
There's only a certain amount of you guys left. Oh, you're not left-handed, are you?
No, you and Jerry are.
No, I'm not left-handed.
Oh, you're not.
I'm red-headed, but not left-handed.
Oh, okay.
But there's only about, as I said, about 2% of us left. Service error, number 7 now. If you want to pick on Horizon right now, it might
that
be
would be
clean
it.
That up, right?
Yep. 10% left-handed people, 2% red-headed people.
Yeah. And disappearing fast.
90% people like me.
That's right. You mean sweethearts like yourself. That one is going to be a point just on the line, an ace. Haven't seen many of those tonight from Columbus.
And you got a little bit of life here if you're Columbus. You're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, you're tied at 5. They have not been tied at 5 in the first 2 sets. But then a bad serve there. That's going to be number 7, actually number 8 now on Columbus. That's what hurts your momentum. You make a mistake like that. Side out, Horizon +1 here in the 3rd set. Boy, Matt, the communication hurt them on that back line, Coach.
Yeah, I think what you want, though, if that's your setter, then that setter has to tell that libero, move out of my way.
Yeah.
Let me get that second ball.
So now 2 unanswered. Deep serve, middle back on that one, and the return again by Columbus, so they can't set up anything on offense. Down the line, and the point good, and now 3 in a row scored by Horizon, and all of a sudden it's a 8-5 lead.
And the X, look at the X there. Hathaway looks like she's going to get the ball. No, I'm going to give it to Selke. I love how they fooled, because everybody was keen on Hathaway.
And there's no recovery time. That'll be a service error, and that's going to be number 8 now on Horizon. That's really the only thing in this matchup tonight that you really think about that needs to be shored up again before tomorrow, and that'll be a service error the other way.
Did they hit that? Did I hit the antenna?
If it did, it hit and went outside.
Okay.
Yeah. Side out once again here for Horizon.
And now Horizon's playing more kids as the game goes on.
Well, it'll be a little different story, as that's going to be wide on the serve, and that'll be number 9. Tomorrow it'll be Shortridge, and it'll be a little different story there. They're probably a little bit better at this stage, so they'll get tested tomorrow night. Columbus again on the serve, and boy, that's 2 in a row. They've hit really bad. 10 service errors now on Columbus Christian. What makes that big, Coach, is they haven't had many serves tonight.
Right, exactly. I mean, you look at the scores at 25-11 and 25-10.
There's the left hand, and it's going to be misplayed by Foster. That probably would have been out.
Yeah. And she knows it because she was smiling.
Probably take something off this one.
She sure did.
That's still a
look
really
at that.
good serve. And how about that return and the dig to keep it alive, and the point by Columbus. Great play both ways.
Caught him flat-footed because they thought that ball was going to be out.
Paige Harden eventually gets the point there for Columbus. That might be, for Columbus, the best play they've had all night. Here's Emma Sewell. Sewell wearing number 18 tonight for Columbus Christian. Williams to the middle, slides that one to the far sideline and gets the point.
Looked like she was going to go right, went left, slam dunk.
So right now, every time that Columbus seems to make it just a little bit of inroads to that deficit, they come right back, and now it'll be Ella Selke again, who's had a nice night in the serving department. Columbus setting that one to the middle. Probably wasn't enough toward the right.
Oh, yeah.
And a misplay by Columbus, and the point goes to Horizon. Now here's one area, Coach. Columbus cannot let this thing get away. You're down by 5. You don't want this thing to grow to 10 really quickly, and the way that Selke can serve, it can happen.
Yeah, and you right there you see the timeout right away because you want to stop the bleed.
Timeout on the floor, 14-8 your score.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Back here at Horizon, and they are now building a 15-8 lead. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Indiana Labor's District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with labor as district council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. Well, we said a little bit ago, Coach, you don't want this lead to get to 10. I think even psychologically you're thinking, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
The interesting thing I see Horizon's doing, they're bringing the ball back at one time. I would like them to set, you got this lead, set your offense up. I know you want to probably get this over and get this done, but late games, later in the season, you need to establish your plays and run those.
Yeah, by the way, that is the 10th now service error on Horizon Christian.
I found my notes last year. They had 42 errors against Addicts last year.
We did that game, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
You and I did that
game. The game that took 3 days and 14 hours.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
16-9. That stops the bleeding for the moment, and Columbus will get the ace.
You know, you can't let them creep back in here.
Yeah.
You know, you extended this lead. This is where coaches would tell you it's time to step them on the throat. You don't want to be mean, but you got to finish the game.
Finish them now. -6. Columbus on the serve. Williams to the middle, and Williams will get to the point.
When they need a point, where do they go?
Williams.
Go to the senior.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Family Source Insurance. Pat Cherry.
Hey, Pat.
Is your independent agent representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Call him for coverage at 317-894-7000.
Pat sent his son to college and going to be playing basketball. Cannot wait to see the young man play.
+7. Now make it +8. Another ace for Horizon. And don't forget, Thursday night, high school football show at Aspen Creek Grill, Coach.
You want to hear my my quarterback?
Yeah.
How about that?
That's good. That's why you didn't play quarterback.
I'm just asking for a steak.
Yeah, I can see that. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock. Service air. That's number 11 now for Horizon.
How about that panel we have?
Who's on the panel?
You're on that panel. John Mathis and Sean Kroll on that panel.
Oh, John Mathis.
Talking about the top 5 in the IndianaSRN poll.
All right. +7 now for Horizon. Can Columbus keep it alive? They do. Great play at the net by Nickerson. And this time.
Bring that back over.
One more. They couldn't get it done.
Nice play by both teams.
By the way, Aspen Creek Grill, one of our sponsors as well. Delicious food. Their servers genuinely care about you because you're a big tipper. Aspen Creek Grill here on IndianaSRN. 19-11 is your score. Cross-court attack handled well. Lions push it to that little hole in the middle, and they found it. Number 11, Olivia Leonard.
Mr. Bennett does a great job at Aspen Creek Grill. Look at this. This is a nice little hit.
There's that hole. Now look at it right there.
Yep.
You got to step up to that attack line. Now you're down to 5. Lead at 9, and again, the point, Horizon.
Again, just a one shot over. Again, you know, yeah, you can get away with it today, but later in the year, someone's going to creep up and get you as we got a timeout.
Lead at 10.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
You want a piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements, top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
21-11 your score, actually 22-11 your score here in the third set. It'll be side out for Williams and Horizon Christian. Nice serve once again. Played deep, and somehow Columbus got it back over. It looked like 21 Abby Dora, and Columbus gets the point.
Again, Hathaway's at the net. You got to slam dunk the ball.
By the way, tonight's game brought to you in part by Clean Slate. Find your future in the cloud. We're a technology consulting firm specializing in custom-built modern applications and products that deliver great agility, faster speed to innovation, as well as resiliency to handle whatever the future holds your way. Clean Slate, 866-885-3249.
23-12. If you're Horizon, you're feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, and it happened quickly in that one spurt where it was
7-point lead,
yeah,
right?
Yep. And then they took off. At one point, it was 5-5, and that'll be a service error. By the way, I'm going to mark that down for tomorrow. That's now 12 for Horizon. We got to find something to make sure that all coaches do that.
I'm just glad I'm not coaching anymore because I know how you would pick on me.
2 away. Down the line on the return, Columbus.
Got it.
Yep,
no communication.
He had 3 players right there. Nobody stepped over to get it. And we also want to thank Wheeler Mission. For 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. If you'd like to volunteer, give them a call at 317-686-6239. And on that note, another ace by Horizon, and they win it 25-13 in that final set. Take another look at this one right here on that little push to the middle.
Final score is 25-11, 25-10, 25-13, a game that took 1 hour and 15 minutes to play.
So Horizon again with the win. They're now 2-0 on the season. Columbus Christian will fall to 1-1. We want to again thank our sponsors tonight, including Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is the leading equipment dealer and have been since 1955. Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction as well as metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission. For over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Bertner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group. We're in business to create a better future for you and your family. Northwestern Mutual, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Laborers District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page daily with updated sports news coast to coast. Go to IndianaSRN.org and click on the sports page tab.
Just a review for you tomorrow night. We will be here again at Horizon as they will take on Shortridge. Game time is at 7 o'clock. I also like to remind you that the football preview show Thursday night live from Aspen Creek Grill, and then 4 big football games on tap this weekend for high school football. It's the season of high school sports is upon us. We will do over 300 games. This is game 1, only 299 to go, Troy.
And they're all going to be a lot of fun. But thanks for joining us here tonight. Horizon picks up the win as they win it 3-0. And a reminder, we're back here tomorrow night. Game time between 7 and 7:15, Coach. So we're looking forward to game number 2 tomorrow. Many, many games, as Coach mentioned. Aspen Creek Grill football preview show coming up on Thursday night. And then Friday, high school football. You can check out the sports page for the 4 games. Also go to IndianaSRN.org. You can check out the 4 games there. And the schedule for next week even gets bigger. We have 5 football games a week from Friday night. So we got a lot of games coming up. And it's all right here on IndianaSRN.